Fortnite, the most successful and popular battle royale out there. But is it better than PUBG, Apex Legends, Warzone, and all the others? And to see if this is true or more false than a good future, I'm going to have each battle royale compete to examine the strengths and weaknesses of each game. But first, we need to see how the battle royale genre was created and how it was later applied to video games. In 1999, a Japanese author created a book, Battle Royale. 2 years after its release, it was adapted into a film that was so powerful and bloody for its time that it faced bans in numerous countries. 11 years later, a movie would be released, The Hunger Games. That it did so well, it popularized Battle Royale. Sometime later, this genre had its first adaptations to a game, Hunger Games, but as a Minecraft mini-game. Later on, DayZ came out as a mod for Arma 2, which was moving closer to the idea of the current Battle Royale. Then a mod of a mod of a mod came out, Survivor Games, which was already very similar, and in the one from 2015, it finally came out for H1Z1, the first video game to have a Battle Royale as its main mode of play. And this is where a key figure in Battle Royale enters, Player Unknown. He was a famous modder for H1Z1 and Arma 2, later hired by Bluehole for a little-known video game. Does that sound like PUBG to you? And that's how Battle Royale became mainstream, thanks to this guy who created mods for H1Z1 and Arma 2. PUBG was released on March 23, 2017, and it rapidly became the 5th most purchased game ever, with 75 million copies, which would be $2,250,000,000. Damn! Now I should make PUBG 2. Now that we know how the Battle Royale genre was created and how PUBG came to be, let's move on to something interesting. How was Fortnite made? On the 25th of March in 1983, Michael Jackson released the iconic song Billie Jean, and at minute 15:53 he says, "Why do I have this written in the script?" That was just a joke. Now let's dive into the real story, which I'll briefly summarize since I've discussed this in another video. To sum up, in 2011 Fortnite was introduced to the world at the Spike Video Game Awards as the upcoming game from Epic Games. Fortnite was originally going to have a survival horror theme with a cartoon style. On June 25th, Fortnite Save the World comes out, roughly preserving the style they intended from the start. But Fortnite Save the World is so boring that Epic Games should be pharmacists because they created the perfect cure for insomnia. That's all. The Epic team felt like this after making the game. Our game is super Zeta Zeta Zeta. It's more fun to learn about index funds than to play our game. We're missing something. How do we make Fortnite not boring and not lose 6 years? Let's draw a bit of inspiration from the popular game, but only a little. They took the entire idea of the Battle Royale. And this is how Epic Games found a bit of inspiration. And he took the whole main idea of the Battle Royale for himself. And on September 26th, 2017, Fortnite Battle Royale was released. And now we can finally compare PUBG vs Fortnite. The copy versus the original. Who will win? I'm going to summarize all of this because it could be a separate video, but to keep it short, since this lasted many months, Fortnite kept releasing better updates. It was on PlayStation 4, had better optimization, and most importantly, it was free to play. This made PUBG a little nervous as Fortnite was taking more and more market share. But what did PUBG decide to do about it? Sue them? Why not? In the end, PUBG sued Epic Games for copying, which they eventually dropped since they didn't create the Battle Royale, and there's something called a free market. What happened after this lawsuit? PUBG simply died as the developers gradually forgot about the game. Following this lawsuit, Fortnite began rolling out more updates, better innovations, and doing a lot of things well. While PUBG seemed like my father, missing and not paying the... missing releasing bad updates and trusting that Fortnite would just be another average game. But ultimately, this same game ended up overtaking PUBG. But well, how is PUBG doing nowadays? Is it better or worse? First, I download PUBG from the PlayStation Store. Weighing in at 50 gigabytes? That's acceptable. And I must mention that PUBG is available only on PlayStation 4. This means it won't be able to use all the features available on PlayStation 5. Now, I'm going to rate each game according to these parameters. First, gameplay. Second, graphics. And third, style. When PUBG was released in 2017, I remember people saying a lot that it was a very realistic game, both in gameplay and graphics, but playing it now, it looks like a game from 2012. Fortnite, on the other hand, damn! It looks completely different. Fortnite looks way better, especially because of RTX. Gameplay. I can't rate PUBG's gameplay much because I haven't played it a lot, to be honest. Just 2 games for this video, and I lost both in very silly ways. But listening to general opinions and opinions from friends, I can say that it is a very realistic game. But this is both good and bad. It's a double-edged sword, as it can be very fun, but also very boring. The majority of action only happens at the beginning and end of matches. Nothing occurs in the mid-game, which is very boring, at least for me. And the worst part is that the mid-game is 70% of a match. PUBG does have a lot of fun elements, but it's not on the level of Apex, Fortnite or Warzone, which are super dynamic and fun video games. Something else is that the weapons in PUBG are very uncomfortable. And besides that, personally, I don't like realism in video games, nor in art in general, since my philosophy is, more than anything, in all types of art, being able to create anything. Why restrict ourselves in creativity by doing realism? In the end, isn't realism the least creative thing there is? Jeshua Green. But well, that's just my opinion. But if you like realism, PUBG is your ideal game. But if you like something more dynamic and frantic, it is not. Then the style of PUBG would be realistic. And what happened after Fortnite dethroned PUBG as the most successful and popular Battle Royale? In summary, on March 19th, 2018, PUBG released PUBG Mobile, a mobile version of the game, and it's a great game. A while later, on January 24th, 2019, PUBG Lite was released, which was a free version designed for laptops and low-resource computers. But PUBG Lite is already in the highlight. It was discontinued. And while all this was happening, PUBG was gradually improving, adding collaborations, weapons, new maps, and a few other things, generally improving the game. On January 12th, 2022, a very interesting news story came out, and it is that PUBG became "It's free." In summary, PUBG ultimately died because Bluehole simply forgot about it. Aside from that, PUBG is not a bad game, nor is it boring or terrible. It's just not for me, and I find some parts boring. And another thing is that it's not dead. That's just clickbait. It's simply going through a rough patch or doesn't have the same popularity it once had. But it's a fun game. Now let's talk about the next opponent. Apex Legends against Fortnite. And this is where things get really interesting, as Apex Legends was released to be direct competition to Fortnite. But before anything else, where does Apex Legends come from? Origin of Apex Legends. Apex Legends is not a 100% original game, as it is a spin-off of the Titanfall series. Could it be said that it's the Better Call Saul of Titanfall? What does that comparison mean? When Respawn Entertainment was thinking about making Titanfall 3, they saw that the Battle Royale genre was becoming absurdly popular, and they also wanted to enter the fray with their own Battle Royale. And so, in summary, this is how Apex Legends was created. and I skipped over a lot of things. But who will win, Fortnite or Apex Legends? But first, if you are enjoying this video, subscribe, give it a like, comment something, because it's taking me a lot of effort to make this video. Bruh. I've always wanted to do that. Fortnite versus Apex Legends, who will win? And, well, this competition is quite strange, as Apex Legends didn't make any mistakes. It did many things right, but it had two major problems. The first was the competitor it faced, and the second was the parent company behind it. And what do I mean by the competitor it faced? And it had to compete against Fortnite at its peak. When Apex Legends was about to explode in popularity, Fortnite did two things to prevent Apex Legends' popularity from reaching 100%. The first was to quadruple the money they paid to creators. And second, and most importantly, they gave away the Battle Pass for that season. These two things prevented Apex Legends from reaching its full potential, and besides that, in 2018, Fortnite was doing very well, releasing an update every week, which was, and still is, so impressive that Epic Games had to slow down the pace of updates, currently releasing an update every 2 weeks. Also, think about the fact that Epic Games' only popular game right now is Fortnite. In contrast, Electronic Arts has much more. For example, to make it clearer, Fortnite accounts for 75% of everything that is Epic Games. In contrast, Apex Legends is only 5% of everything that is Electronic Arts. Then it's very understandable why Epic Games worked so hard to ensure Fortnite didn't die. And yes, this is what was happening. While Apex Legends was releasing one good thing a month, Fortnite was releasing 4. And this is because Electronic Arts owns Respawn Entertainment, which in turn owns Apex Legends, which didn't give it the attention it deserved, leaving Apex Legends quite neglected. But anyway, I'll explain all of this in better detail later. But first, we need to see if it's still as good a game as it once was. I go to the Play Store, download Apex Legends, and it's 70 gigabytes. More than Fortnite and PUBG, but okay. The only bad thing about Apex Legends is that it only has a PlayStation 4, which also means it won't be able to take full advantage of the PlayStation 5. But oh well. Entering the game, I realized that Apex Legends has very beautiful graphics, better than PUBG's, which wasn't too hard since it looks like a game from but it still has worse graphics than Fortnite, since it doesn't have RTX. I'd say it has 2021 level graphics. What is this assessment? Don't take it too seriously. Now let's talk about gameplay. This is a strong point of Apex Legends. The gameplay it has is very good, fun and dynamic. Personally, I haven't played much, but from the little I've been able to play and the opinions I've heard, it looks and plays really well. Look at what a competitive PUBG match looks like. It looks pretty boring. Now look at what a competitive Apex Legends match looks like. It's a whole different thing. But now look at what a Fortnite match looks like. This looks much more dynamic, but also more stressful. But it really just depends on your personal taste. I personally enjoy Fortnite's gameplay since it's very dynamic and enjoyable. Style. Apex Legends is less realistic than some games, but not as cartoonish as Fortnite. It sits right between the two video games, leaning a bit more towards realism. The art is really nice. But now, if Apex Legends was so good, what happened? Once Fortnite started winning against Apex Legends, they continued to update their game gradually. They released a mobile version which no longer exists, but I heard it was really good. Aside from that, Apex Legends remained a really fun game. But why did it fade away? And if you noticed, throughout everything I've said, I haven't mentioned anything bad about Apex Legends. I've only talked about good things, and it is indeed a very good game. But they have two weaknesses. First, competition. What do I mean? Fortnite executed things so well that other games couldn't follow, so much so that they had to slow down their updates and innovation. And well, I'll stop here with the first point because I already talked about it 3 minutes ago. Now let's move on to the second point, which is Electronic Arts, which, well, isn't the cleanest company in the world. It has quite a tarnished reputation. And they've been doing things very, very poorly, ruining games like Star Wars Battlefront 2, Mass Effect Andromeda, Battlefield 5, Need for Speed Payback. But I'll stop here because I could go on for an hour like this. But now you may wonder, how did EA affect Apex Legends? Apex Legends. First, by significantly cutting back on support for Apex Legends, so much so that they simply forgot about it. And second, it has to do with Apex Legends Mobile, which was the spin-off of the spin-off, which was a very good game, having the potential to be the GOAT of mobile games. But it just wasn't the right company. And Electronic Arts cancelled Apex Legends Mobile. And well, Apex Legends literally succeeded twice on consoles and mobile, and both times it was ruined by the same company. Now let's move on to the next contender because it's very sad. Fortnite versus Warzone. This is going to be a difficult comparison since Fortnite is very different from Warzone. It wouldn't be a direct competition since they don't target the same niche, but I'll try anyway. Warzone is a video game that originated from the Call of Duty franchise, which, to put it very briefly, was released within Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Blackout, which was Call of Duty's test to see if they could succeed in the Battle Royale genre, which was a failure disguised as a success since it was a bad game, but it was successful enough to release in many quotes a sequel, Warzone. And well, we already know how it was created. Now, let's go. Fortnite versus Warzone. And as I already said, this is somewhat difficult to compare since they don't share the same niche, since Call of Duty as a franchise is already well established in the video game industry. Moreover, comparing these two video games is very difficult, since Warzone in itself is 3 games. And within Warzone there are more Call of Duties. So is Warzone a Call of Duty that has more Call of Duty games? I don't know if I'm a bit slow, but it seems a bit strange to me. Why not separate it or make an online Call of Duty like GTA? I don't know. It seems very confusing to me. But to summarize, Warzone. I was very good at first, then it started to go downhill, and they released Warzone 2 to address that issue. But if Warzone I was already very bad, Warzone 2 was terrible, so they released Warzone 3, which was meant to fix Warzone 2, but now we're here, so it can't be said yet whether it's a failure or a success. And now I'm not going to try anything since Warzone weighs 180 gigabyte. It weighs more than Nikocado Avocado. It literally weighs more than Fortnite, Apex Legends and PUBG combined. Well, it doesn't weigh more, but it's pretty close. So for this video, I'm not going to download it. I've played it before, I've had some matches, and I've played it with friends, so I know a bit more about it, but I'm not going to download it, since I still have to finish Doom Eternal. Well, it's going to stay there. So I'm going to touch on the 3 points of graphics, gameplay and style in a very poor way. But well, who told it to weigh so much? At least Fortnite lets you choose whether to download high quality textures or not, so the game weighs less. Can't they do that? Well, graphics. The graphics in Warzone are realistic and very good. I'm uncertain if they possess RTX.
I guess they probably do, but that's the least I expect from a game of 180 gigabytes. That it looks good.
Gameplay. The gameplay in Warzone is very good. It's as realistic as PUBG, but without being as boring as PUBG. And I'm not so sure about this because at first it was like that, then it wasn't, and I think it is now. I don't know. And secondly, the weapon modification feature that has been maintained in all 3 games, which I find the most interesting because who can modify it however you want?
But that's the least I expect from a game of 180 gigabytes.
And third, the style. which is very realistic but not boring or monotonous like PUBG.
So the style of Warzone is realistic but fun. It's the least I can ask for from a game of 180 gigabytes. That it has a good style.
And well, what happened next? I've already said what happened with Warzone 1, Warzone 2 and Warzone 3. And well, here I want to say something about Warzone in general, all three games, which is that aside from the fact that all three are excessively heavy, all three are pay to win. And when they released the update from Warzone I to Warzone 2, you lost everything you had earned in Warzone Y. Yes, that's exactly how it went. Whether you invested money, time, or anything else, you would have lost it all when transitioning to Warzone 2. And here's a point for Fortnite. As they didn't do that when transitioning from Chapter 1 to Chapter 2. They simply updated the game and kept your items. Why did it die? In essence, it can be said that Warzone is dead, as it is very much alive, unlike PUBG or Apex, which could be said to be somewhat dead. So, let's change this to the bad things about Warzone. The bad things about Warzone. Warzone has one major flaw, and it's called Activision Blizzard. This company is so bad that Electronic Arts seems like a saint next to it. But let's start strong. Activision Blizzard was and is so bad that it was sued by the state of California for these crimes.
Sexual harassment, gender discrimination, hostile work environment, and a few other issues.
Also ruining franchises by taking advantage of consumers. And I'll stop here because I could easily spend an hour listing all the bad things it has done. But to summarize, it did so many things wrong that the only option to free itself was to sell to Microsoft. For $68.7 billion, just a little money. And where am I going with talking about Activision Blizzard? Whether we like it, this is going to affect Warzone, and it has already affected it. That's something very important in anything we decide to consume. Looking at the company behind it. If the company is good and has a good reputation, the most likely outcome is that nothing will happen. But if it's already tainted and has a bad reputation, it's better not to consume it. And at least in the case of Warzone, the company behind it is one of the worst in the video game industry. And now we don't know how things will turn out. Because since it has been bought by Microsoft, we don't know if it will head in a good or bad direction. But from what we can see, Warzone the Third is being very well received by the community. So I hope it does well, because competition is always good. Still, Fortnite remains better, is more stable, the company behind it is better, and above all, it's not pay to win, nor do they take away your stuff when updating the game. And now, answering the initial question, is Fortnite the best Battle Royale? Yes and no. Fortnite objectively does many things well, but it also has its fair share of problems, such as style and graphics, learning curves, frequent updates, microtransactions, and changing goals. And if you noticed, I didn't say anything bad. All these points are necessary. Style and graphics are a matter of personal taste, as Fortnite has a cartoonish and more laid-back style. Learning curves, and this is indeed a real problem, as Fortnite has an excessively high learning curve. But they addressed this problem themselves by introducing a no-build mode. Frequent updates? Oh yes, if you have bad internet, this is definitely a big issue. Or if you don't have much storage space. Microtransactions? This is necessary, unfortunately necessary, because it's not like any other game. This is 100% free, there's nothing that is pay to win. So it's somewhat forgivable that microtransactions occur. Changing goals, and this is necessary because it prevents the most skilled players from always being the best. And the less skilled players are not always the least skilled. Is it a little unbalanced? I'm not sure. It restores the gameplay level so that we all start on the same level. And apart from all that, which are very minor issues, Fortnite is still alive and is the most stable game, primarily because of the company behind it, Epic Games, since it is an outstanding company in the video game industry. Don't forget that it was the creator of creator codes, making crossplay between consoles the norm, creating battle passes, and many other things that you can see in this video, where I explain it much better. Moreover, Epic Games is very careful with Fortnite, releasing great updates and listening to the community. But remember that no company is your friend. All companies only want is your money. Of course, there are companies that manage to get this money in a better way. We need to support those other companies, but no company is your friend, remember that. And answering the question from the beginning, is Fortnite the best battle royale? Theoretically and logically, yes. But this is the beauty of video games. Just because it does more good or bad things doesn't mean it will be better or worse for you. Because if that were the case, the best video game of all time would be chess. Because there is no company behind it, it has no microtransactions, there are infinite possibilities, and above all, it is 100% skill-based. But most likely, if I ask you what your favorite video game is, you won't say chess, because that's the beauty of it. Our opinions and our preferences for each video game. Yes, Fortnite is the best battle royale, but it is not the best battle royale for you or for me, because that might not be my opinion or yours. But logically and theoretically, yes. Besides that, I also want to talk about another topic. And well, to conclude this video, I want to say one thing. Comparing video games is silly, because just because you have Fortnite installed, it doesn't mean that Warzone will be uninstalled. And just because you have Warzone installed, it doesn't mean that Apex will be uninstalled. You can have all the video games installed on your computer. The only problem would be the space. And apart from that, no company is going to thank you for defending their video game or for cleaning it up, nor the other way around. No company is going to thank you for speaking ill of another video game or anything else. Comparing video games is silly. The CEO of Apex Legends is not going to come out and say, "Thank you Johnny the Pro 2010 for defending us. Now we're going to give you the attention your family never gave you." No, that's not going to happen. So there's no need to compare or fight over video games, and that's it. I do this because I need to eat, but there's no need to walk down the street saying that your video game is the best and the other is the worst. Well, while making the thumbnail, I realized that I put a tier list and there's none in the video. So let's make a tier list. Starting with Apex Legends, I really like this game. I haven't played it much, so I can't say too much about it, but I would place it in B. Very good. Next, Warzone. What a good game this is. So I think I would place it, but the fact that it's pay to win and they also take away your weapons during the game, for me, it loses a lot of points. Next, Fall Guys. It's not better than Apex Legends. It's not better, but personally, I like it more. Next, PUBG. It's not better than Fall Guys, but I find it very boring, so I would place it in C. But I have played it more and I can say that it's very frantic and fun. The end of the matches is very exhilarating. So I would definitely move it up in the tier list. Next, Fortnite. Theoretically, it would be on par with Warzone, but since it's not pay to win and it doesn't take away your weapons, it's ranked higher. And it's Free Fire. I haven't played it much. I've only played 2 or 3 matches, but I genuinely don't like it. And it's not because it's a mobile game. There are mobile games like Brawl Stars or Clash Royale, which, despite being pay to win, are very good games. Oh look, there's Minecraft for mobile, and Minecraft is a good game. So, the fact that it's a mobile game isn't the issue, but what I don't like about Free Fire is that it's pay to win, and it's a copy of a copy of a copy, and besides, it's a bad game overall. It's one of the best on mobile, but overall, it's one of the worst. So this is how my tier list would look, and finally, we've reached the end of this video. I have to say that I didn't like how it turned out. In the last video, I seem really negative, as if I loathed PUBG, Apex Legends or the rest, but honestly, I usually don't care. And also, my opinion on certain video games has changed, like PUBG. PUBG used to seem 100% boring to me, but now I can say that the end of the matches is very fun. The ending of PUBG matches that you can't get from Fortnite or any other battle royale. Otherwise, I wouldn't upload this video since I genuinely dislike it. But I'm still going to upload it because I don't want to waste 2 months of editing. Aside from that, if you like this video, please subscribe and give it a like. It would help me a lot. If this video does poorly, this would be me. But let's hope it does well. On screen, my second to last video will be playing, where I compare which game is better, Fall Guys or Stumble Guys, the copy versus the original. Stumble Guys versus Fall Guys. Who will win, the copy or the original? To better compare these two games, I will score them and play 3 matches to see the strengths and weaknesses of each game. I will play the PlayStation 5 versions of both Fall Guys and Stumble Guys. Thank you for watching.